Andra da ye ba eba be breaki edemam auditor general echese wa force former sports minister say on return 850 million Ghana cedis a omo luti ede ahye omo 13th All African Games course sa sika no ene chese ewura mu na sa sika no enye ho adwuma ene omo kokoye it auditor general ed investigations eba abonten a hu say sa sika ni na akwa sports minister on to force no say on return sa sika no na enye sa dia asem ebeto no na sa enye sa asem ebeto no enya ato no ewe sisi ano ye the former sports minister ekwa akopi mo court na wakwa akoyi ensem bia no na the prosecution process no ahase na Solomon Osu ede ensem bi ababetu dwa na ensem ori ababetu dwa no abusua ochra ose Mustapha Ussif no former sports minister one ekufu adomo omo na abosa akọ no allegedly enti no eyese de kokopie mu of course na face justice Solomon Osu aba ede nsem bebre aba betu dwa ye be pese ye be me abedwafo no be me akọ na ye kwa kotie ensema of course na busua me pese me di enkomo bi ekire mu na Ghana ha say open laptop papa ene computer papa bora eye Perosi computers ho ene ye laptop ene computers fi na ade ba akọ a ede wom kra ne say eye budget a ekra obia se sika wo form se usika wo sro abusua Perosi computers obenya osone odie ede amount na eba quality laptops and computers a abusua eho ena ye nyina no o provide ye laptops and computers a ye de adwuma na eba wo location so dia abusua enye problem se owo Ghana ha ba bia owo Kumasi so owo Accra owo Cape Coast owo Takoradi baby bia northern region baby bia wo bia na se owo UK owo US owo Canada owo Germany abusua o location enye problem fa number ya eguso na efre Perosi computer 0247 030 108 anase 0597 942 133 se ofre sa numbers mienu na wenya na obefre sa 0540 882 824 Perosi computers ne location nso enye iraba oba Kumasi eye Buokrum estate ila eho na Perosi computers ewo owo Buokrum estate ila eho na Perosi computers ewo na ade ba konso a esanso dekura sanso mu ne se osanso wo professional repairers a say wo laptop na ho tochima eho ye bibia na ase of person repair of na Perosi computers obe repair sa anu mani nyina e de ama ne bibia eye affordable mom yanko na yanko tie ensema ekoso ewo political highway so
for example when it came to accreditation, the tax, and some of those ones for which even the committees, the subcommittees of the local organizing committee had to come and defend. The concerns initially when the tournament started, even about food, the lack thereof, the quality, the unavailability, again raising concerns, of course not getting traction. And so in real time, there were real issues. And so this should not come as a surprise, is that not it?
I mean, let me first of all thank TV3 for making this particular issue a live issue.
Why is it important?
Because I can count no less than 4 occasions where we have discussed this issue here. And I'm very surprised that my brother Zatu seems to be surprised because he himself has been on this table where we have discussed it, where we were pointing to $15 million used for preparing watch. Did you not say it here? That capital belongs to Bedietu's wife. Did he not say it here? You understand? But a man cannot be careful until he is faced with the reality. You see, this morning,
the man cannot be careful
until he's faced with the reality, the corruption reality. Zato is so calm. Alfred is so calm. They are now preaching. I see the body language. I say, Christ in me, the hope of glory. You see how they are calm?
Christ in you, the hope of glory. They are calm.
Yeah, so calm because they know it goes to the core of their party. We are discussing the new patriotic party. We are discussing members of their party who have been cited as being involved in corruption. Huge one, Gangat one.
In your view, what should be the substantial point of discussion for this report?
The substantial point has to be how, as a country, we will be preparing to haul all these people before the locals, retrieve our money, bar them from taking part in active public life, and then we are free. You see, you are faced with blatant thievery. And you are telling us what? You should go and resort to internal auditors? To do what? There is a reason why you are the minister. For Christ's sake, internal auditors, they don't sign checks.
Well, his argument is that the minister is at the apex. He doesn't do the day-to-day.
Who approved the contracts? Was it the internal auditor? For instance, the decision by the GBC not to go to the procurement authority, but rather went there after the games were done, who took that decision? So if you went to the GBC right now, you say I should go and attack a common internal auditor, Professor Lassanin, when the report had suggested or had recommended that he set charge and also subject himself to, what's the name? Section 92 of Procurement Act. By the way, I think that they will also they are liable to criminal prosecution under that act. If
Procurement Act?
Yes. If you were to read, this is the section that they have asked them.
It's in Section 92.
92. If you
of the PPA Act.
Yes. That is where they say
any person who contravenes any provision of this commit an offence.
Yes.
When no penalty has been provided for the offence, the person then is liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding 1,000 penalty unit or a term of imprisonment not exceeding 5 years or to both. So people should be imprisoned.
No, so this is what this is what the auditors are recommending, that the state, and remember this audit was commissioned by the president, the office of the president, and here let me give him thumbs up, only except to say that we have other two Gangantuan forensic auditors we have to do to conclude the deal with the NPP.
Which one?
I remember the banking sector. It was a total stealing. TV.
21 billion.
This business of where they have been come here, Borders report. Have you ever cited the Borders report?
Snipers. I have seen snipers.
You have said it's a cook thing. Yesterday I took the trouble of going to even inside the office. You know where the direction took me to? Traffic light at Addo. The Borders report that you people have been falling on, their office address leads me to the traffic light at Addo. So you come there, the president must go into that report and we will see worse things than this. But you see, we must not discuss this matter without going back to where we have come from. Remember on the 5th of February 2015, we were sitting out somewhere and former then candidate Daniel Akufo-Addo decided to take part in the 50th anniversary commemoration of the death of J.B. Dankwa. Now, on that occasion, the president admonished all his party functionaries, those that he will be governing with, that if they were seeking money or they had intention of seeking money, they must see the public service as not the place for accumulation of wealth, and that the private sector was their place that they have to go.
You also said it at the swearing-in ceremony.
Absolutely.
Minister. What's your point?
So people had a lot of confidence in this, in the then candidate Akufo-Addo, that given the opportunity, he was going to protect the public purse. What are we discussing here? This is blatant dissipation of state funds. That nobody must try to, as it were, conceal things. Now you go to the food. Let's do a simple mathematics of the food matter. That
just food alone.
Just the food alone. Today, that
15 million.
That is crazy. And by the way, don't let anybody confuse you on this table that the game was well organized. It was never well organized. In fact, I have here my jaw online on the 10th of March 2024. You can read for the headline for your viewers to hear, so that we put it in perspective that it wasn't well organized.
A Ghanaian badminton player. We sat in the bucket of coaches pickup. I think I remember this one. But what's the point?
So you have just been told by the auditor.
His comparison is that if you compare it to the latest one, the extravagance is
unfortunately
better.
For him, I took part in that All Africa Games. I watched virtually all the games. I attended the games with my family because I love athletics. So when I hear somebody say that it was well organized, I'm like, hey, what are you telling us? Were you there? Nothing semblance of organization.
You don't see new stadiums. New stadiums.
The stadium you have been told. The stadium you have been told that even when there was rescoping variations, that it was supposed to reduce the cost of it, they rather maintain the figures. Now we need about $1 million to go and correct defects. Look, some of the room, you know about the table tennis, they had to come and play it at the Accra International Conference Center, because the facility was not ready. In fact, some of the equipment arrived after the games were over. So what are we talking about? Now you go to the food alone. This man, and I really like Leslie Addo. Leslie Addo, the badminton team, they were kicked out at the quarter-final stage. But guess what the woman did? The one that did the what do you call it, budget for the food. He or she had assumed that there will be 4,500 people who will be in camp or will be taking part in the games for 24 days. And then fix the breakfast, no matter the breakfast, whether it was kelewele breakfast, whether it was cocoa breakfast, whether it was anything, she fixed the figure at $16.72. Now, Leslie is telling us that they were kicked out of the competition in the quarterfinal, so they were sent home. Meanwhile, Ghana was still paying for Leslie beyond the quarterfinal. Who does that? You go to land for at least 4,500. It's still 80. Whether or not we went out, a team went out in the quarterfinal or in the preliminary stage, the country was still paying this kind of figures. And that is why when they told us that...
So this is a composite budget. You do budget based on numbers participating, and then you do it to the end of the tournament.
But this is variables. You know, when you are dealing with a budget that has to do with variables, that people could be eliminated, you don't do a fixed budget. Who approves such a budget? For us to go and pay $15 million for food? Meanwhile, I heard the athletes from Ethiopia, Liberia telling us that they were not eating wache, they were not eating ampesi, they were not eating tuozafi. So what sort of food were they cooking there that amounted to this $18 million, $15 million? It was all chop. Nothing short of that. Don't let anybody confuse you. They say irregularities. What is irregularities and all the thing? It's fraud, pure fraud. They have stolen from us.
Irregularities are fraudulent activities.
That is what in auditing, when you say irregularities, it includes fraud. So nobody must confuse you.
No. That
is what a creator go say. No. Now you have a country like Ghana. See the way we are struggling. By the way, today, this morning, 300 Ghanaians are going to come from South Africa to this country to be integrated. The reason why most of them left the shores of this country is what has been captured beautifully in this forensic audit. When we give money to public servants, when we give money to politicians to manage it well, then they go and do all sorts of things with it. What was the business of the LOC paying Otuado from the All Africa Games?
The budget?
The budget. Otuado, who is a Black Stars coach, was paid from this budget. For what reason?
And Chris Hutton too.
Chris Hutton. Yeah. For what reason? And we are discussing it, and in fact,
it's a Ministry of Sports budget.
Ministry, this is the LOC. Remember, the tournament was to take place in 2023. Have you asked yourself why the tournament took place in 2024? Because Ghana has said that we didn't have money. So you have to go and beg the African Union to extend the time for us to organize ourselves properly. Now, as part of the reason why Ghana decided to host that games, they told the entire country that after the games, the facilities that will be put in place will be turned into a sports university. So that we will have a separate sports university. Go back to Botima and see what the rubbish that they did there. Whether it's something that you can say should cost you $145 million.
You are saying even that one should be looked into?
Hey, it has to.
New stadiums?
Look,
good facilities.
It shouldn't get anywhere closer to $70 million. That rubbish they have done there, you call it a stadium? Totally rubbish.
No, Solo, you can.
Oh, where do you go?
Based on what expertise do you?
My goodness. I mean, credit some levels of intelligence. Have you been there before? Go there today. Whether if you value it, we can even get $20 million from it. But somebody has taken that money from that. Now, in this audit, what they failed to do was to tell us who that PGS company, you know, GBC awarded a contract of €2 million to a supposed company called PGS. You remember that? I am disappointed that the audit did not go deep to find out who that PGS company is. Not an existing company. At that time, remember on this platform, we queried who were the PGS company. We never saw them because at the end of the day, contrary to the fact that PGS had signed contract with GBC and we were expecting the expertise, GBC rather used their own staffs to carry out all the activities. So whom were you paying? Whom were we paying? You have signed a contract with PGS at €2 million, yet at the end of the day, that contract was done by GBC staff. You understand? And who does that? Then we have people sitting down there and still going about their duty and still say they are public servants. No way, we cannot allow that to happen. So it's a matter that has to address. But I am very happy that they have recommended what has to be done, that we must surcharge Ussif, we must search out Kate, we must search out Ofosu.
So that's where the concern is, for example, from Dr. Zato. As a policy person, he says that, well, you cannot say those individuals, the figureheads, the arrowheads, should take full responsibility when they have individuals who took up responsibilities in providing the services.
So we, as a country, we are going for the money from the minister, the director, and the LOC boss, and the GBC boss. What they can also do is that if they feel that the internal auditor chops from, go there and take it, add it, and bring it. What they are saying is that 583 million is in their pocket. And that we must take it. 580 for your information, 400 of it can build a new bank. Last time we were told by Group Indium that at the time their bank was collapsed, they had about 4,500 workers. That was even the savings alone. What it means is that 400 million out of that could open a bank, and we engage 6,000 of the youth who are in the house, and then the 100 million could open a savings alone, and another 4,500. This is what we are dealing with. So why must we go for any innocent internal auditor who takes instructions? We can't do that. By the way, I have seen the minister say, the former minister, Ussif say that he will have his day in parliament. This business of the Public Account Committee trivializing things there. They must know that a time is coming that the Ghanaian will be so furious, will be angry at them. It's a matter of time. For him to be so comfortable that, oh, when it comes to the Public Accounts Committee, because we have seen a lot of MPs and former ministers who are also members of parliament, when they go there, because it's colleagues, they trivialize the matter. We are following this matter. How many years have we been following this matter? Since 2024. And your station, I give you the kudos for the good work that you have done. We as a country have a lot of things that we need. It is raining. Everywhere is flooding. That we need money to fix our problems. Everywhere, children are sleeping on their bellies in schools.
Why do you blame Mustapha Ussif for this?
Why wouldn't I blame him when he decided to sign a contract for $50 million for water, when he decided to overprice? Look, I just read Leslie Addo's incident to you. How much did we say we rented the vehicles for? Was it not, we signed a contract of 45 million Ghana cedis in all for vehicles, yet the badminton team could not get any of the vehicles to go to the bottom man, but rather sit at the back of a pickup, hence their elimination at the quarterfinal. And you have to present this budget and we pay.
So only at the beginning?
No, all of it, nothing serious was really happy. Where has the athletes? Where has the athletes? So where did the money pass? So you see, what I'm saying is that we must, as a country, be serious with some of these. Any least opportunity, when there is a problem, people make this country out of that. And I believe that is not the right way to go. That when we were in difficulty, and for which reason the games were postponed from 2023 to 2024, people took advantage of it. And not what? It was an election year. You see, some of these inflations, you would think it's an isolation. Remember, it's an election year that people need money to go and do all sort of things. And that is why you saw some of these huge figures. Two things that happened under the S1 administration. In 2023, remember the national service issue? Huge sums of money. What was happening there? It was internal elections. People needed money to prosecute it. Now we come to 2024, the 13th African Games.
It took place in 2023.
The All Africa Games.
Then it was in April 2024.
No, it took place in 2024, and in 2024, the party then needed money. And some of these things. And when it happens like that, you think we should allow it to go scot-free. We can't do that. We must cause them to pay us our money. That is all that we need. We don't need anything else. But if he says that he's waiting for us at Park, we will watch Park and see whether or not Park will live up to expectation.
Mr. Jimeka, at the end of
okay, I was going to answer my so our political highway. So Solomon Osu and I attending can say Odessa and Seminole to Eddie Amaya and ye Assam Ketuakra, a former sports minister and our Papa Keviama and ye is Brabamase, some of Japan and some way.